We had just landed in New Zealand and somehow, between jet lag and car shopping, we had already found time to sip wine in Waiheke Island and fly through a 1,000-year-old native forest in Rotorua. But our road trip was just getting started. We were heading south to Toppo, a massive lake formed by one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions in human history. Along the way, steaming hot springs, thunderous waterfalls, Māori rock carvings hidden in the middle of a lake, and one of the most unusual McDonald's we've ever seen. But first, we wanted to make a couple stops in Rotorua before we left.
Oh, I believe it. Whoa! You're getting a workout, honestly. Where are we?
We are at Kui Rai Park in Rotorua, and currently there are some foot baths, geothermal foot baths. We're looking for those. So right now we're trying to get to experience the foot baths. They're a little bit crowded right now, but honestly, it's just beautiful to take in the flowers, and I don't know, there's like native birds all over the place. So far, good vibes.
How about all the geothermal activity, all the steams,
yeah,
the mud pots?
It's interesting because they just look like ponds. That could be you. Yeah, okay, stop recording. Cut. Also, what's unique to this park, there's a ton of thermal activity just like all over Rotorua. And so you can actually check out some of these thermal areas and you see the bubbling up from just normal ponds or things that look straight out of Yellowstone.
Yeah, it's really hot.
You know, some Americans might find dipping your feet in a small warm pool in the middle of a park with strangers weird, but I found it pretty relaxing.
I can't. Wait, this actually looks so cool. Right here.
So we're here at Lake Taupō and Rotorua, the blue and green lakes in the Rotorua area, and we decided to stop by and check out, you know, what it looked like, and drove to a viewpoint. Now there's quite a few hikes and you can actually swim in the blue lake. There's plenty of people out there. You can actually hear the jet skis right now. I think the green lake, I don't think you're supposed to. The reason why you can't swim on it, it's privately owned, just an FYI. And there's a lot of wildlife here too. So if you're interested, even if you don't like hiking, there's, I think, plenty to at least drive up and see. Honestly, it kind of reminds me of, we were just in the Azores last year on our way home from Europe, and having like the blue and the green lakes, I think it's very specific to like caldera areas from like volcanic activity. Makes a lot of sense that an island like this would have something like that, but right now I kind of got a little lost on a trail here. So I'm gonna make my way back to the group and see what there is to see next. So far, so good. I think I found my way back. There's a trail that goes around the blue lake. I highly recommend it. It really feels like you're in Jurassic Park, and you can kind of just see little glimpses of the beautiful blue lake in the background. And it's relatively flat for everything that I've been doing so far. You can, I think, go on horses or bike on it too.
Hey look, the traps we just learned about in our last video made an appearance. Wouldn't recommend putting your hand in there.
Okay, just running up these hills, trying to see if I can barely glimpse the green lake back there, but it doesn't seem to be an outlook. The road is pretty rocky. It'd probably be fun with a bike. I think this is all mountain bike trail. Whew. You know, I'll enjoy this walk back downhill. All along, it turns out that there was just like 12 stairs right next to the parking lot to see both lakes. Right here and literally right there. We walked for like an hour to try to find a lookout.
Exercise.
Yeah, true.
Inner child.
Honestly, I don't hear much about these lakes, but I was super glad to stumble upon them. Quick question though, do these look like green and blue to you? Feel free to let us know in the comments. After a bit of goofing around, we were off to Topō.
So we're at Fuka Falls.
I don't know much about it, but it is one of the places a lot of people go to when they go to Lake Taupō on the North Island. It's our next stop after Rotorua, and it's right on the way. You actually can go and get these crazy like river boat tours, like they go really fast and make people scream and stuff. There's also like helicopter tours and stuff. But as you can imagine, there's tons of outdoor activities to do here, like mountain biking, hiking, helicopter rides, you name it. It's New Zealand. We also saw these like really pretty birds like eating seeds around the waterfall. I like this place. It's crazy that coming around the corner you can start feeling the mist.
Wow.
This was our first encounter with the Jetboat, a Kiwi invention from the 1950s designed to race over shallow rivers with almost no depth. We had no idea how fun they were, but we'd find out soon enough. We've been on them twice now, and it never gets old. Once in Wanaka, once in Queenstown. But more on that in a later video. For now, we finally arrived in Toppo, a lakeside town sitting in the edge of a massive volcanic caldera lake that was formed by the eruptions from the rhyolitic supervolcano below. But nowadays, the area is surrounded by hot springs, making it much more relaxing. We strolled along the beach, trying to find a glimpse of what us Lord of the Rings fans call Mount Doom, Mount Nauruhoe, and also Mount Ruapehu, which you can see on a clear day. After a quick dinner and drinks, we headed to unwind at the Wairakei terraces, created as a tribute to the legendary pink and white terraces that we learned about while ziplining, which are heated using geothermal water.
We're here at the terraces.
Over here, and I say this for everything. I need to come up with something more interesting. So, because this is a thermal region, they have a lot of thermal spas, and we thought this one was $7. It was actually $27, so don't make the same mistake as us. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's similar to like a natural hot spring where there's going to be like the hottest at the top, and then they kind of trickle down into lower. And if you touch where that water's coming out of, it is like scalding. You could cook food. So I think I'm gonna go become a roast chicken right now.
I went to the geothermal hot springs and I left without my left hand.
Disclaimer, we had all our hands when we left. We stayed until close and then went straight to bed because we had a stormy adventure early the next day. So, for those who aren't aware, we took a boat on Lake Taupo in a little bit of a rain, and now we're swimming after we saw the cave carvings near swans, and I actually think it's pretty refreshing. Whoa. Hold up, past Erik. You're spoiling it for the viewers. Let's back it up a bit. We decided to take an eco yacht, which used both sails and electric motors to see these absolutely legendary Māori carvings. However, the weather wasn't being too friendly, so the captain took us out anyways on a different boat that was completely motor propelled. Now, I already talked about Lake Taupo's volcanic roots, but it's also New Zealand's largest freshwater lake and second largest in all of Oceania. We're talking 616 square kilometers, nearly the size of Singapore, and 186 meters deep. The lake feeds the mighty Waikato River, contributing significantly to New Zealand's hydropower, which dominates the country's electricity at around 60%, leaving geothermal trailing in second place around 20%. And remember, we're literally floating above an active supervolcano. This 35-kilometer wide caldera may have not erupted in 1800 years, but it's far from dormant. There have been 17 episodes of volcanic unrest since 1872, with the most recent being in 2022 to 2023. While I was busy talking, past Erik is busy getting soaked outside.
Show it, give us a tour. What we got? Flashed?
This is a bit of a pattern. When we finally came up upon the carvings, it blew us away. Sitting at 10 meters high, the carvings were created by Matahi Fakataka Brightwell, a master carver who carved it over 4 summers in the 1970s with the help of 4 assistants. The carvings is in the likeness of Natoroirangi, a Māori navigator who guided Tūwhare Toa and Te Arawa tribes to Topō over 1,000 years ago. There are also many smaller carvings along the nearby rocks, including a couple Celtic designs like the South Wind. Afterwards, we moved to a calmer area of the lake, where a few of us decided to go for a swim in spite of the storm. Hissing. Of course we had to go for it. Mel and I can't turn down an opportunity. When in Rome.
I love the nose. Do you do the nose too?
Just in case you guys wanted to know.
I don't think it's cold. Do you think it's cold?
Kind of.
You'll be fine.
Oh, it is.
I'm in a cave underneath a boat. I'm exploring the outback. I'm in the wild. No one's here. It's just me. It's a little ominous, huh?
After dipping into the brisk lake water, we tried to find something a bit warmer, but just as natural.
Where are we?
We're here in the spa thermal park. It is, I think, Tumohiki, and it's these natural thermal spas created by the hot water coming out of the waterfall, mixing with the cold river over here. It isn't super hot like the spas we went to yesterday, the terraces.
Yeah, so it's basically a river you can swim in, but there's like a little stream of hot water. I call it warm water.
Yeah.
Warm-ish water. I mean, you're pretty far away from where like the hot water is. It makes sense, but
It feels significantly better than the cold lake water that we jumped into today.
I thought the cold lake water was nice. But yeah, it's free, it's natural, and we're having a good time. So if you're more adventurous and very careful, you can climb a little bit up where the stream is actually coming from. We found like a little pool for ourselves. There's little bits of pools around us. We have our own little oasis.
I know some of the reviews said that there was only space for about 6 people, but there are more like small pockets of pools and areas to hang out if you're willing to climb.
In all the rivers we've been in, this one isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be in terms of how sharp it is on your feet. So you could wear like water shoes, but honestly, just my feet are just fine. We're heading out of Toppo today, and I believe I'm pronouncing it right this time. And we decided to check out the coolest McDonald's in the world.
Rocky.
Rocky.
I've been saying that.
Does this look like a real plane to you guys? I don't even like McDonald's, or Macca's, as they say around these parts, but I couldn't resist checking this out.
All boarding.
Choo choo. Oh wait, that's true.
That's good. This is crazy.
This is your back.
Are you gonna fly?
Welcome aboard.
Oh my
Welcome
goodness.
aboard.
That actually looks legitimate.
I think it is.
Apparently it is a real plane.
It's actually a legitimate plane.
I read
Check
that.
out the cockpit.
Just shouted, this is an emergency exit.
Grab your oxygen masks.
Put your own oxygen mask before helping children.
I'm gonna check out this hole-in-one contest. You can win $10,000 if you get a hole-in-one. I don't know how much it costs, but I'm gonna at least look at it. Maybe one day. I definitely wouldn't be able to get that. I'll bring my golfing friends someday and see if we can pay for the trip here.
Well, that about wraps up our first visit to Topō. But where to now? Well, you'll just have to wait and find out. But I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It's deep underground, lit by bioluminescence, filled with eels, and the heaviest insect on the planet. I'll see you guys there.